Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to explain you this assignment. Within my background you can see there's a PHP assignment. Actually this is a PHP Laravel assignment. With this assignment they expecting from us to create a Laravel a REST API and also Highchart development. That means generate Highchart using the Highchart and also we have to uh, we have to develop some migration scripts and also seed scripts. That mean we have to seed our data to database using a CSV file. Likewise, those kind of things they expecting from us. Uh, okay, here with this example, we have to generate a chart. Basically, I'm not going to read this entire every full description because it will take time. I will show you what I'm going to develop. Okay, within the end of this assignment, you can see here they provide some example chart. They expecting to create this kind of chart uh, here, and also they provide Excel sheet. This is the Excel sheet they provided. Okay, you can see. They provide some data with the here we can see user ID and create date and onboard percentage. Likewise, those are the main three data columns we need. What I'm going to do is I will create a database using migration scripts and using Seeder I will import this CSV file data to our database, and using our database table I will create the view. Using that view, I will create a REST API, and using that REST API as a front end, we use Highchart. From front end, I will request data from using Ajax and from our REST API. Then Laravel API provide the information to front end, and it will finally show the chart information. This is the example I'm going to develop, and I will put this description within my this. I will put this assignment information within my description section. You can check those things from there, and also I will add links to this CSV file as well. Okay, let's go to the example development first. Uh, okay, let's go to the example. Okay, let's create the Laravel project. Let's go to my root folder. Here I'm in root folder. Let's get the CMD command line interface. I will zoom this. Yeah, okay. Composer create project Laravel and let's name it as a Laravel chart. Okay, now it's creating a new Laravel project. It will take a while to create the project. Okay, now it's created the project. Let's go to project, Laravel chart. Here we have project. Okay, let's open this using my IDE. I'm using VS Code. Here, let's open this file. Oh, file open folder. Go to htdocs and Laravel chart. Let's open this. Okay, it's opening. Okay, right. This is my new Laravel project. Um, here, let's create first. We need to create the database things. First, before that, we need to set up our configurations. I will create new database called Laravel chart. Okay. Uh, I will create this database. Let's go to our browser. Okay, I'm in within the PHP MyAdmin. Let's create the database. Okay, database created. Then okay, let's go to um, Okay, let's go to database. That means let's do the migrations because when it's come to Laravel, we not going to create database tables and that means database changes manually. That means we use migration scripts because when it's come to production level or something, if we are going to change our server, then we don't need to create any database manually. Just we can run the migration script, then it will create the databases. Um yeah, it is super easy to maintain because we have all the update within the one place. That means within the migrations. Okay, here I will create the migration script. Um, okay, yeah, PHP artisan. Let's say make migration. Let's create migration call user onboarding. Okay, and also we need another migration call. Um, okay, let's add another migration. We need create because we going to create view. Create user chart view. Okay, now let's create this migration script. Uh, okay, let's create this migration script. Uh, User onboarding. First, we create the user onboarding. Here, with this is different one. No? Let's open the user migration thing. Okay, here with this, we have to create a schema. Schema. Let's create. Let's create user onboarding and let's set the function. Let's say callback function. Let's add the blueprint. Let's say table. Okay, now let's create the table. Dollar table. Let's say integer. Let's add user ID. At the same time, we need model as well. After creating this migration, let's create the model as well. Let's yeah, date. Let's create the date. Create date because as you can remember, we have they provided that Excel sheet. That means you can remember if you can remember this Excel sheet, you can see there's now we are going to import this information to our database. Then we need to have these columns within the our table. That's why we creating this table like this. Let's create date. It is format is date and it can be nullable. Okay, and let's add dollar table integer. Let's add onboarding percentage. It is let's set the default value as well. Default. Let's say default as a 0 and add okay and add dollar table integer. Let's add let's copy this. It's easy, I guess. Copy and paste. We need another two. It's onboarding percentage. Other one is count applications. Another one is count accepted applications. Okay, these are the columns we need, and also we need that means we need if it's called to down the database, then we need to have schema drop if exist table name is user onboarding. Okay, right now we have our migration code for this user onboarding, and here we need uh, model as well, user onboarding model. Let's create that as well. Let's create that PHP artisan. Let's say make model uh, user onboarding. Okay, it will create the model. Let's go to the model. Okay, user onboarding model within the inside of the app, and here we can see models and user onboarding model. Okay, here we need to declare some information. Let's do that. Protected. Let's create our table dollar table equal to user underscore onboarding, and let's add protected. Let's say dollar primary key equal to user ID, and also let's have public dollar incrementing incrementing, because we don't need the increment uh, our primary key, because it is unique key. We provide those unique key from the our CSV, and also let's disable the timestamp. Timestamps equal to false. We don't need create that and update that fields within our table. We don't need those tables fields. Let's have the protected dollar fillable. Let's say user ID, sorry, user ID, and let's say created date, and onboarding percentage, and let's add count applications. Okay, let's add count accepted applications. Okay, now we have created our model. Let's uh, let's create our other. We have to create another migration script for our view. Let's create that as well. Here with this, we can create our view thing. Let's create here. I have that view coding. I will explain those code. I will copy to here, because I think otherwise it will take time to type those things. Without typing, I will explain these things. Let's go to here. Okay, we need to import this first. Import class. Okay, now this code will create view called user weekly retention chart view. It is the view name, and it will using this table that previously we added user onboarding table. It will create view using that table. Here you can see it will it will create the create date. That means start date, weekly start date. That means using the create date, it will create start date. I'm not going to explain these things because these can be you can study differently because it is a different lesson. And also it will create year, that mean create date year. As example, if you use it is 2021 second of 12, likewise then it is 2021 is the year. It will capture the year. Here it will get the week number, that means within the year get the week number, and using those information it will create the week name. And here according to the user onboarding percentage which comes with the our CSV, according to this percentage it will set up the levels here. If it is less than 0 or equal to 0, then it is level 1. If it is percentage is uh, greater than 0 and less than 0, then it's get as a level 2. Likewise, it will create according to the percentage value, it will create the levels. Okay. And finally, it will group by using week name, using this name. It will group by, and then that means according to weekly we can get the result for particular year. Okay. That is the this example view information. Uh, yeah, let's do the other part. Drop these things. Let's create DB using the DB state statement drop view. Let's say user weekly retention underscore chart view. Okay. Yeah, now we have our migration scripts. Let's try to run this migration scripts. Let's run these things. PHP artisan, let's say DB, sorry, not DB, migrate. Okay, yeah, it will return error, I guess. Something happened. What is the problem? Table, Laravel chart user onboarding does not exist. Let's, okay, user onboarding. Let's try this, check this user onboarding. Okay, here we have some typo script. Okay, let's check the our view model as well. Let's check the model onboarding BOAR. Okay, mm, okay, let's try now. Let's try to migrate this first. Sorry, oh, yeah, PHP artisan migrate reset. Let's migrate again. Still coming there. What is there? Unknown column create date. There's another typo, I guess. Let's go to first create date. Create a date, and let's go to here as well. Create a date. Right. Okay. Let's run again. Let's run again this thing. Reset. Okay. Migrate. Still getting error now. Laravel user onboarding created date. Okay, here we have a different issue. Okay, here with this Laravel, I think within the configuration, um, this MySQL database strict mode is, I think, true. We need to disable this, otherwise it will when we doing the group by, it will return error. We have to use full. Okay, here we need to false. Otherwise, it will return. We need to use full group by. Okay, anyway, let's run this again. Okay, it migrated. Let's check with the database. Yeah, let's refresh this first. Okay, our Laravel chart is the our database. Let's go to that. Laravel chart. Okay, within the Laravel chart, we can see the onboarding and also weekly retention curve, that view, our view. Okay, that means our migration is success. Let's create the seeds. Let's go to the seeds and create the seeds. First, let's create the seed. Okay, here we can create the seed. PHP artisan make seed call user on BOARD onboarding seed. Okay, seed is created. Let's write the code. Uh, yeah, this is the our seeder. Okay. Mm, Here for this seeder, I'm planning to use some helpers. That mean to format our data. Then I think I need another table folder called. Let's create the folder called helpers. Inside of this helpers, I will create a class called. Let's create called data format helper. Okay, data format helper is the helper, our helper. Okay, let's add the helper function, public static function. No, sorry, function. Let's add the dollar value. Let's get if empty dollar value. If value is empty, then we return uh, it as a zero. Else, if it else, we return it as a value. Okay, this is the public static function. Okay, we need to give the name. Say format number column. Okay, format number column. Okay, let's add another function. Let's create a public static function called format date column. Okay, inside of this value, let's create if empty dollar value. If value is empty o, dollar value equal to blank, then let's get return null. We return it as a null, and else return let's get date format, year, uh, month, date, and also hours, minutes, seconds. Okay, and yeah, yeah, to add the time, let's add the dollar value. Okay, right now we have our data formats. Let's use these formats within the um, our seeder. Okay, let's go to the seeder. Okay, this is the our seeder. Inside of this seeder, let's first I think I need to copy our because using the seeder we are going to capture the our Excel CSV file information to the database. Then we need to copy our that CSV file inside of to the seeder. Let's first create the folder called data. Let's copy the that CSV file into this data file. Let's go to the our downloads, and within the downloads I have this export thing. Then let's go to the system, and let's go to the database. Go to the C here within the C. I think I need to copy this to inside of the database, not the seed. Okay, now it is inside of the database. Here you can see. Let's copy. Control V. Okay, now I have copied my CSV file into this folder. Now let's try to capture the data using that CSV. Okay, here first I need to create within the run. I have to create the first before the start. I have to truncate the onboarding table. Let's do that. User onboarding. Let's truncate this. Sorry, truncate. Kate. Okay, now let's create the CSV file path. Let's get if open. Let's open the file. Let's say base path. Inside of the base path, let's give the data base and data. Inside of data, let's export.csv. The file. Okay, let's now let's open this file. Read. Okay, right. Now let's say it has a dollar dollar first line as a true. Okay, and okay, here I think it's not imported correct one. Let's import correct one. Model slash let's import. Okay, app models. Now it's corrected because we need to import this our model user onboarding, not another different one. Okay, now we're going with the first line as a true. Let's use while. Using while, let's get dollar data equal to if get CSV. Let's say dollar CSV file, and we here we going to, because we need to upload only the current CSV information. Here within this CSV file only we have uh, 340 lines. because we know now this we don't need to copy other files. We exactly know we need to copy this 340 rows. Then we can give here we can give that number because we can stop from there. Okay. Okay, let's if not false, yeah, false, then we proceed. Okay, if let's say if we start from here, if not, let's say dollar first line, then we goes to here, user onboarding. Let's say user onboarding, create let's create user ID, sorry, user underscore ID, our primary key. Let's set the primary key. Let's trim this because if there are any space bit, it will remove the spaces. Date as a 0. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Sorry here, not the date, data. Series data. And let's say sorry, created. Let's created underscore date like this. Let's get the trim dollar data. It is actually 1. Okay, I think first one is 0. This one is 1 because data it comes as array. Yeah, I think this one also we can use same thing because it is good practice. Okay, let's add onboarding onboarding percentage. Okay, onboarding percentage as let's use our um, here we can use our helper class as well. Data format helper. Data format helper format uh, date column. Instead of this, we can give this. Okay, here we can copy this to here to here. Date format helper. It is format number number. This is 2. Okay, here we can use. Okay, we have to import this. This okay, it is imported correct one, and also let's copy this again. Onboarding percentage, we can change this to count applications, and it is also number, and this index is 3. And let's copy this again. Let's change this count accepted applications. Okay, here this also need to be a 4. Let's check this. Okay, here we have 1 2 3 4. Okay, okay, these are the things we're going to capture from the our CSV file. And let's once we done this first, let's create, let's say a dollar if sorry, if before if closing we need to have first line we need to be a it need to be a false. Once it right false, once it read the first time, we don't need again to read those things, then we make it as a first line false, and we need to close the our file as well. If close after the loop $CSV file. Okay, now we have created our seeder. We can using seeder we can seed data to database. That means seeder means we going to uh, going to fill the data. That means we going to save data into database. That's why we use seeder. Okay, let's use the seeder. Okay, let's run the seeder. Okay, here here with this we need to add this. Let's try this. Okay, now it's successfully work. Let's go to the database. Uh, okay, yeah. Here you can see our user onboarding. We have two tables now because I think this table we don't need. We don't want actually. We can remove this. You can remove from here. Okay, empty, delete. Because previously we have issue with the typo onboarding and that's why it's created a different table. Yeah, this is the correct table and also you can see the data is coming to this table and but we can't see our within the views we can see our view. Okay, here I think you guys now clearly can see uh, here here you can see our onboarding table. Within this onboarding table, you can see there is a uh, data. That means our seeder is working perfectly. And also you can see our view also. Here you can see the our view information. But the problem is it won't comes the weekly. Okay, I think we have some issue within the. Let's go to our. Let's go to our view onboarding. Create a date. Yes. So helper class. If it's empty, okay, here you can see that's the problem. Okay, now run the seeder again. Seeder again. Only seeder. Okay, let's check with the application again. Okay, now you can see it will comes with the data because previously we had an issue with the our helper function. Because of that issue, it will replace values to empty. Okay, right now our data capturing part is completed. That migrations and seeder part I already covered. Let's go to our API part. Now we need to create the API to view this data. Let's create the our API. Let's go to our let's create the controller because here we don't have any controller. If you go to our controller HTTP controllers, here we have only by default controller, but I need a different controller. I will create a different controller called uh, let's say let's create the different controller PHP. Let's get the PHP artisan uh, make controller controller name. Let's get the controller name as let's set the name name as API controller. Okay, API controller. Okay, controller is created. Let's check with the here we have API controller. Uh, Here within this API controller, let's create our code. Okay, here I will add the public function called week weekly chart. Okay, here we don't need any parameters. Okay, let's create dollar weekly let's say weekly records equal to we need to uh, get from the our view, let's say user weekly okay, I think I need to create model. We do, yeah, we need to create model first. Let's create the model. Let's create the model. Let's create PHP artisan make model call. Let's create a user weekly retention retention chart view. Okay, it's created. Let's open this. Yeah, it's created. Let's use that thing within the our code. Okay, here we can use that. Let's create a user weekly retention chart. Okay, now let's get all the data within that view. Okay, now let's use those things for each. Within the for each, let's create dollar weekly record as dollar week. Okay, inside of this, let's create okay, let's create return array. Return array equal to array, and let's say for let's give the for dollar level index equal to 1 for loop, and let's say a dollar level index less than or equal to 8, then dollar level index plus plus. Okay, right, let's go if dollar level index equal to 1, then that means we this is the first curve, that means our curve first line, that means start from the 100, because according to our requirement documentation it need to be start from the 100. Let's say return array as 100, and else that mean second, if it is comes second time, then return array let's say let's round, um, let's add dollar week week information within the inside of, that mean within the this inside of this week we can have it will return from the database as like this where's that browser. Okay, it's written like this, as you can see. Then we need to capture that information, then we use level and caps lock level, so level dot level index. Okay, dollar week, sorry, dollar week level 1. level 1. Okay, okay, let's multiply from 100. Let's get it as a percentage. Okay, uh, okay, let's create the return array. Now we have our else statement. Let's create the return array. Return data set. Inside of this data set, let's create array name as a dollar week. Say week underscore start is the our name, and let's set the data. Let's use the return dollar return array. Okay, this is the our return data set, and let's return this with the JSON response. Let's return this here. Let's return response. Okay, response JSON. Let's add success equal to true and data. Let's use return data set. Sorry, return data set. Okay, it is 200. Okay, 200, and let's set encoding option. Sorry, set encoding. Sorry, encoding options. Options. Let's say JSON underscore numeric check. Okay, now we have returned our data set. Why this? Okay, let's check this response. Okay, okay, right now we have our API controller. Let's create the route for this. Let's go to our routes, and within the routes, let's within the API, let's create the route. Let's go to the web and copy the same route we can use. Otherwise, we'll create route in here, different route. Let's get this API. Okay, let's create the route. I'll say route get method. Let's say chart. Okay, chart is the our route. Let's give the path app slash http con sorry controllers slash API controller. Okay, and and we need to give the our method name. Let's give the method name as well. At method is weekly chart. Okay, weekly chart is the method. Let's give the method name, and also we can name this as a let's say uh, weekly let's say chart. Okay, right now we have our route as well. Uh, yeah, now we can test this with the browser. Let's test this our API first. Let's go to the browser. Mm, Here, let's go to. I think I have to start the server. Let's start the server first. Let's get start. PHP is localhost. Let's use the 8000 port. Okay, first let's navigate to cd public uh, and okay. Uh, let's PHP local localhost 8000. Okay, now our server is running within the 8000 port. Let's check this. Let's check with our route localhost port 8000. Let's add the API and chart is the our route. Let's check that. Okay, it's returning error. Base so table view not found. Table potential chart. Okay, let's check that. We'll give upper the table name here. Public dollar table equal to user underscore weekly underscore retention chart view. Okay, this is the our table view name. Okay, let's run this again. Yeah, as you can see, it will return the data correctly without any issue. You can see we can see that mean here according to the uh, week start date it will show the data. Now we need to show this data within the front end. We need to show these things within the front end. Let's create that as well. We need to create a view layer, view layer, and let's get view file. Let's go to the views. Let's go to resources, views. Inside of views, let's create the new file called chart.blade.php. Okay, let's add HTML to here. This let's add HTML. Okay, uh, and okay now for this we need jQuery and Highchart CDN. Let's go to browser. Let's open jQuery CDN. Okay, let's go to this. Okay, let's copy this one and let's go to our code and we can put it in here. Now we need high chart as well. Let's go to the browser. Let's type high chart CDN. I think high chart CDN is not providing, but let's open high chart. Okay, we can use this. Let's go to the code again. Let's add script src. Right of this, we can provide this link, and that's it. Script tag we need to close like this. Okay. Now we have added our Highchart JS as well. Let's create our Highchart mm, that mean container. That mean we are going to show the chart within this div tag. Let's create the div tag. Let's call this as a container. Container. Okay, let's add the style as well because I'm going to use this full height, that mean 400 with the screen. Okay, now let's create our script because we need to initiate our chart. To do that, we need to have use a script. Here, let's create dollar document dot uh, ready. Once that page fully loaded, it will run this code. Otherwise, it will wait until complete the load. Okay, chart. Let's set chart as a new high high chart high charts dot chart. Okay, and let's create the chart. Okay, let's say chart. Inside of this, let's create the type. We're going to use linear type. Let's say leen and render to. We're going to show this within the container dev. Let's set that container and events. Let's set events. Mm, load request data. Actually, this is request data is a function method. We need to define this, but still we not create this function. Later we will create this. This is actually with this function it will call to backend using Ajax. For now we use its name. Okay, now we need to. Okay, now let's add the title. Title. Let's say. Okay, title. Let's say title as a weekly retention curve. Okay, and let's add after the title. Let's add the credits. Credits. Let's enabled credits. Let's disable this because don't need this false. And let's use x axis using this. Okay. Let's get the categories. Okay, let's get 0 weeks later. Okay, likewise we need to create 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's change this week number. 1 week later, 2 week later, 3 week later, and 4 week later, 5 week later, 6 week later, and 7. Okay, now we have our axis. Let's create tooltip as well. Let's get tooltip value suffix. Let's add the percentage mark. Okay, and let's get the y-axis. Inside of this y-axis, we're going to show the value. Let's create title. First title. Let's say uh, text total on board total onboarded. Okay, and let's add the labels inside of this format. Let's create value and percentage, because sorry, percentage mark. That's how we going to show this within the y-axis, value and percentage mark. And let's add the minimum and maximum. Minimum is 0 and max is 100, because according to the example this need to be 100. Okay, now we need to load the data using the Ajax. We load data inside of to here. Currently we don't have data because it will load from the using the backend side. uh, okay, and okay, now we can put it here, and let's add this. And here also we need to add this. Okay, now our this high chart initiate part is completed. Let's create the data loading part. That means using Ajax we need to load the data from the server. Let's do that script, and let's create the Ajax call. Let's function. Our function is uh, request data is the function. Let's create that function. Uh, dollar dot Ajax URL. Let's get API slash chart is the our API, and let's get type is get. Okay, and data type is JSON. Okay, and now let's if success, let's get function. Let's add the JSON object, return as a JSON object, and let's go for each, and let's say JSON object dot data function, and let's say I and okay, allow let's use this function, and using the function let's load the data to chart dot uh, add series. We'll add the series dot false. Okay, now we have added our data to chart. Now we need to redraw this, because otherwise it will not refresh. Let's redraw chart, redraw, redraw. Okay, now chart has been redrawn, and uh, we need to, if we need to show that means cache false, because we don't to force the cache, otherwise it will load from the cache. Okay, now almost done. Okay, now let's check this from browser. Let's go to the browser. Okay, now here we check our API. Let's check. Okay, I have to add the route, because I think we didn't add any route. Let's go to the code again, and let's create within the our web route. Let's create the route, because we don't have any routes for now. Okay, here we can add route. Let's say route get, let's add chart, and let's say app slash uh, H http slash controllers slash let's see. Okay, we don't have. First, we need to create. We have API controller. Let's create another controller called web controller. Okay, let's create that as well. Okay, here we need to get another PowerShell. Let's create. Okay, let's get PHP artisan make controller call web web controller. Okay. Okay, now let's go to our web controller. Here we have web controller. Inside of this, let's show our uh, public function, show our chart. Let's say chart action. Okay, let's um, okay, let's return our view here. Return view call chart. Sorry, chart. Think chart is the name we use. Yeah, chart. Okay, now we can use this route. We can use this within the route. Our route, web route. The web route we can use controller. Let's say web controller at chart action. Okay, let's now we have our chart. Let's go to browser. Let's try to open localhost 8000 port is 8000. Say chart. Okay, that chart is still not show. Let's check why that chart not visible. Let's refresh this. Within the console, we don't have any error. Let's go to network. It won't. Okay, let's check high chart and to events EV events. Let's check this again. Okay, it's working. Okay, this is the example. You can see now it's rendering the chart. As you can see here, we can see the percentage start from the 100 and it will goes according to the week. They can see the user registration completion chart. Okay, this is the weekly retention curve chart. With this video, I explain you how to do the Laravel migrations and Laravel seedings, and how to load data from Excel to database, and also you guys learn how to integrate this Highchart with the Laravel API, that means Laravel REST API development. These things you guys learn from this example. Yeah, if you think this video is helpful, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to see future videos like this, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Let's meet with the next video. Thank you very much.